Long ago, in the mist-covered highlands of ancient Sri Lanka, whispers spread of a mysterious protector. Some claimed he was a fallen prince. Others believed him to be a spirit of the forest. But to the poor and oppressed, he was real. A shadow that struck when injustice grew too heavy to bear. At that time, the land was divided under 3 rulers. 2 were local kings. But the north suffered under a cruel foreign tyrant, King Dandanaga. His men bled villages dry with brutal taxes. Those who resisted vanished without a trace. One night, as the king's soldiers dragged away a farmer's daughter, an arrow hissed from the darkness, striking the led soldier's wrist. The men froze, then fled. The girl looked into the shadows and saw the face of a prince long thought dead.
Prince, I told them he will return one day.
The prince was not a ghost. He was the son of High King Kithsiri Mega, one of the 3 rulers. His name is Prince DIYASEN. Once, he had lived a life of privilege until love led him to defiance. His beloved Thamari, a healer's daughter, had dared to shelter a starving child condemned by Dandanaga. For that crime, she was dragged into the square and executed, while DIYASEN's own father stood silent, fearing war. That night, the prince knelt in the ashes of Thamari's hut, clutching her charred bracelet. His grief hardened into resolve. He left his crown at the palace gates and vanished into the black jungle. There, he was found by the hermit of the broken blade, a disgraced warrior sage who saw the fire in DIYASEN's eyes.
Vengeance is a flame, my son, but justice is a river. It outlasts kings.
For years, the hermit had trained him, not just in the sword and bow, but in the art of vanishing without a trace.
I have taught you to move like mist, to strike like lightning, and to hear the whispers of the oppressed. Now you are ready. I have one final gift for you, a treasure meant only for the most worthy. And you are the one.
Prince's breath caught in her throat. Before him stood a colossal dragon, its scales shimmering like ancient armor under the dim light. This beast had lived 1,000 years, hidden from the world, known only to those with minds touched by the divine. With trembling hands, the prince reached out and claimed the dragon as her own. When DIYASEN emerged, he was no longer a prince. He was a legend, a shadow between tyranny and hope. Determined to crush all resistance, Dandanaga summoned his greatest force, an armada of warships from distant shores, their black sails darkening the horizon. Yet as the invaders approached, the ocean itself seemed to rise against them. For the first time, the tyrant knew true fear, not of armies or steel, but of the living legend standing against him. Now he would stop at nothing to see both prince and dragon destroyed. Determined to end him, Dandanaga set a trap. At dawn, his men set fire to a border village, knowing DIYASEN would come. As flames lit the sky, the prince rushed in, saving children from collapsing huts, only to be ambushed. The wounded old man he had just rescued smirked. A spy. Spears circled DIYASEN. He stood alone. Dandanaga arrived, swearing to kill him himself. Their duel raged beneath storm clouds, steel clashing, mud flying, until DIYASEN disarmed the king with a sweeping kick. You lose, the prince gasped, because you fight for gold. I fight for them. But as the tyrant fell, a hidden archer loosed one last arrow. It struck DIYASEN's chest. Villagers rushed forward, only for a sudden mist to swallow him whole. When it cleared, he was gone. Only his dagger remained buried in the earth.
This is the sword that Prince carried, children. So, people still believe he will return one day to save us. Do you understand? My little one?
Yes, teacher,
But why?
I've seen this before. I've felt this before.